seeing you, man. You good? Yeah. You too, and you too, man. Have a good weekend. See you at fight night, man. It's gonna be a good one. Let's do it.
What'd you see when you looked in his eyes?
Yeah, I saw him. I mean, there was nothing but respect. I mean, he said to me that he's happy that I'm healthy and ready to go. And I said to him, right back at you. I mean, you know, it doesn't always have to be that hostile. But when the cage door closes, I'm in there to kill him.
Tom, how do you see the fight going?
I will never, ever think that DDP is going to lose again. He just finds a way to win. Against Khamzat Chimaev, though, someone that I've shared a card with a couple of times, Khamzat Chimaev is an absolute beast, man. If he can get that back control and start that cycle that he does of dragging guys to the ground, going for the submission. So, mate, the answer is, I don't know.
The anticipation is rising once again as Khamzat Chimaev came up to Dricus Du Plessis for a shake hand, showcasing his courage to face his opponent outside the ring too. However, Dricus Du Plessis explained that he does not keep a list of opponents he wants to fight, as his goal is simply to face whoever the top challenger is at the time. He said that right now Khamzat Chimaev holds that spot, and beating him is the priority. Du Plessis added that this mindset will not change after the fight, as he plans to continue proving himself against the next top-ranked opponent until there is no doubt he's the best in the division.
My man, there's no specific name for me. For me, it is about the next best guy, fighting the best in the world. You know, Khamzat is that guy right now, and after him, there's going to be another one who people think is the best, and I will just prove time and time again that there is only one. And that's me.
Moreover, Dricus Du Plessis said nothing Khamzat Chimaev has done has gotten under his skin, as he doesn't let trash talk affect him. He explained that the only thing he takes personally is stepping into the cage with someone people think can beat him, because in his mind, he's the greatest and always gives everything. Du Plessis added that only he can fire himself up, as letting an opponent influence his emotions would be a weakness, stressing that his approach is purely professional.
Honestly, no. You know, for me, what I take personally is every time I step in there and you think in your mind that this guy, come on, this guy, I take personally because I am the greatest in my mind and I'm giving my everything. That's the only thing I take personal. The only person that can get me personally riled up is myself. No outside force, no other person, because that means they can have an influence on my emotions, how I react, and that's just not possible. I mean, that is, in my opinion, a weakness. I don't take this personally. I take this 100% professionally.
However, after facing off with Khamzat Chimaev, Dricus Du Plessis said their exchange was respectful, with Khamzat expressing he was glad Du Plessis was healthy and ready, and Du Plessis returning the sentiment. He added that while it doesn't always need to be hostile, once the cage door closes, he's in there to finish him.
What'd you see when you looked in his eyes?
Yeah, I saw him. I mean, there was nothing but respect. I mean, he said to me that he's happy that I'm healthy and ready to go. And I said to him, right back at you. I mean, you know, it doesn't always have to be that hostile. But when the cage door closes, I'm in there to kill him.
Furthermore, Dricus Du Plessis explained that before every fight, he imagines the moment when the referee checks if both fighters are ready. He feels it is the scariest point because all the months of training in his whole career lead to that second. Even with the fear, he feels confident as he knows he has prepared in the best way possible.
Absolutely, I visualize it every single time. Look, I'm getting goosebumps as I said it. I just visualized it again. Every fight I visualize it. But yeah, you can visualize all you want when you get in there. I can't wait for that moment. You know, it's the most terrifying moment on earth. I've done some crazy stuff in my life. There is no moment as terrifying as that. And it's not just this guy with this guy or this guy. Every single time. I did with Strickland twice. And I think I might have been more scared or more terrified the second time around, because everything comes down to it. The last 3 months, everything that I've done in my whole life comes down to this moment. And they are like, are you ready? Yeah, it's automated. Are you ready? No, probably not. But yeah, I'm ready.
However, Michael Venom Page said he doesn't fully understand how Dricus Du Plessis has achieved so much, as his style feels unpredictable, like a less experienced fighter doing unorthodox moves that still land. However, he praised DDP's ability to grind out wins and admitted that if DDP beats Khamzat Chimaev, he'll never bet against him again, no matter the opponent.
Talk to me about that main event, DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev.
I just don't get why Du Plessis has achieved so much, because and again, I say it sounds like, I keep saying it. Sometimes you can spar some, like new guys in the gym, just like they don't have the experience, but they hit you because they do some crazy stuff. They can wing their hands and just do random stuff and it lands because it's not a conventional punch or it's not a conventional kick. That's what Du Plessis represents for me, but at the highest level. But one thing he does exceptionally well is he knows how to grind out a win. He seems to find his way to success. I'm telling everybody, this will be the last time I bet against him. If he beats Khamzat, I'm never betting against him ever again. Like, I'm literally ever again. I don't care if you lot are telling me he's going to be fighting John Jones.
Moreover, Tom Aspinall said he'll never doubt Dricus Du Plessis again because he always finds a way to win, but admitted Khamzat Chimaev is a beast. He noted that if Chimaev gets back control and starts his usual takedown to submission cycle, it could be a big problem, making the fight hard to predict.
Tom, how do you see the fight going?
I will never ever think that DDP is going to lose again. He just finds a way to win. Against Khamzat Chimaev though, someone that I've shared a card with a couple of times, Khamzat Chimaev is an absolute beast, man. If he can get that back control and start that cycle that he does of dragging guys to the ground, going for the submission. So mate, the answer is, I don't know.
Furthermore, Rampage Jackson said it's hard for him to pick against anyone training at Jackson's. And since Khamzat Chimaev has always looked like a beast whenever he's fought, he's picking Chimaev to win. He predicted the fight would end in the 3rd round.
Khamzat, yeah, so you said he's looking good. He's also training with Sam Calavita, TJ Dillashaw's old trainer. He's training here, fighting Dricus, who's been a great champion so far. So what do you make of that matchup?
It's hard for me to go against anybody that's training at Jackson. You got to Khamzat. He's always been a beast every time I've seen him fight. So I'm going to go with Khamzat. I think he's going to take it.
Which round?
I'm thinking around that, like the 3rd round. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Brennan Schwab said Dricus Du Plessis is one of the toughest fighters to ever compete in the UFC, and if you've learned anything, it's not to bet against him. He imagined a scenario where Khamzat Chimaev comes out aggressively, dominates the first 2 rounds with takedowns and back control, but can't finish DDP.
DDP, if he's tossed anything, you don't bet against DDP. To me, he's top 5 toughest dudes ever to grace that octagon. Another question is, let's say Khamzat comes out like a banshee, which I expect him to. Let's say he comes out with that Chechnyan demon in him, and he's shooting and he's doing that, and he's having success, and he's even winning the first 2 rounds. But DDP's not going away. I think I could see it the first 2 rounds. Khamzat's dominating. Like, DDP's getting up and he's getting back to his feet, but he's getting taken down. Khamzat's getting his back, but he's not finishing him. And the round's going on, and the round's going on. And Khamzat's having success, and he's even won those first 2.
As the fight goes into the later rounds, Schwab thinks Chimaev might start to tire, giving DDP the chance to defend takedowns, stay on his feet, and land big shots. He added that this is the most likely way he sees the fight playing out, but he also acknowledged another possibility that Chimaev could prove to be a once-in-a-generation talent who overwhelms DDP in the first round. In that case, Schwab said, Chimaev's relentless pace and power might cause DDP to make a mistake, allowing Chimaev to secure a quick submission.
What happens in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th? When Khamzat's getting a little tired, and DDP still just defend the takedown. And then eventually, Khamzat slows down enough where DDP starts to land. He's a big dude, and Khamzat hasn't been in those deep, deep waters. Then what? If I had to bet on it, I'd probably bet it goes like that. Or am I completely off, and Khamzat is a once-in-generational talent, and he annihilates him in the first round, and DDP can't handle that onslaught, that Chechnyan demon, and he just makes a mistake, and Khamzat gets his neck.
Movsar Evloev said he doesn't think Dricus Du Plessis' wrestling is anywhere near Khamzat Chimaev's level. He pointed out that Chimaev has the ability to take opponents down, break them mentally, and still carry dangerous knockout power that can end a fight with a single punch. At the same time, Evloev noted that DDP looked extremely strong and big in his last fight against Sean Strickland, though he still believes Chimaev is the bigger and stronger fighter overall.
Who do you think wins that fight between DDP and Khamzat?
I don't think that Du Plessis is wrestling even close to Khamzat. When we watch fight with Whittaker, he just take him down and he just like break him. And Khamzat still have big power of punching, right? He can just turn off your light by one punch.
Yeah, but DDP looked crazy strong and big in his last fight against Sean Strickland.
He even bigger than Du Plessis. Yeah.
No way.
Of course
no
he
way.
is, bro. He's big and strong as hell. I don't know how much is in pounds, but he more than 100 kg.
MMA Guru predicted that Du Plessis would survive Chimaev's early grappling in round 1, but as the fight goes into later rounds and both men exchange scrambles, Du Plessis could start taking over. He believes that by the end of round 2, the fight may turn scrappy, and if it shifts into a striking battle in rounds 3 to 5, Du Plessis has a real chance to finish Chimaev.
But Du Plessis is going to survive the grappling in round 1 of Khamzat Chimaev, in my opinion. But once they're sweating, and once they've been through a couple rounds, and once they've scrapped it out a little bit in the fight, and they've gone back and forth in some scrambles, I think we're going to see Dricus start to take over. Late in the second round, towards the third, I think at the end of the second round, you're going to be going, hang on a second, this is getting scrappy. When Gilbert Burns pulled guard, Chimaev let him the back up. But once Chimaev didn't have the back or mount over his opponent, he didn't want the ground game. But I think at a certain point, come at the end of round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, this will turn into a striking match. And if it does, I think Du Plessis can finish him. Dricus is a champ.
Chael Sonnen said Dricus Du Plessis is becoming one of the top names in the sport and now has a huge chance to make history. He explained that if Du Plessis can defeat Khamzat Chimaev, it would take his career to a higher level and put him in the conversation with the greatest fighters ever.
Dricus is turning into that guy. I mean, he's got quite an opportunity here. If he gets past Chimaev, truly, all-time great status, is going to be looking him in the face.
Aaron Pico said that training with Khamzat Chimaev was a very motivating experience. He enjoyed being around athletes who had the same focus and goal of becoming the best in the world. He remembered meeting Chimaev for the first time and being impressed by how hard he worked, and during their intense sessions in Coach Cal's garage, neither of them wanted to lose. The competitive atmosphere made them both push harder and helped Pico stay sharp. He felt it was an honor to train with fighters who were so dedicated.
It's just awesome to be around guys that are have the same mindset as you. You know, they're trying to be the best in the world, and they're training ridiculously hard. So to be around guys that are after the same goal as you, it just ups the bar. You know, that was the first time I ever met Khamzat and Arman. I met him prior, but Khamzat, I've never met him before, and he's a beast. I mean, he works really, really hard, and yeah, we were pushing each other. He didn't want to lose, I didn't want to lose. So, I mean, we had some really good sessions in the garage with Coach Cal, and yeah, it's just an honor to be around guys that are trying to be the best in the world, and it keeps you sharp.
However, Georges St. Pierre said an early finish would likely benefit Khamzat Chimaev because of his fast starts. But if the fight goes into later rounds, Du Plessis' cardio, ability to close fights, and athleticism could give him the advantage, making it a matchup that could go either way.
Yeah, tell me your pick right off the bat. Tell me who you think is going to win.
Look, I think if it's an early stoppage, it has more chance to favor Chimaev because he's a very strong starter. But Dricus Du Plessis is a very good finisher. He's very good at the end in the deep waters, and he's very athletic. So if it goes later in a decision, it might go the other way.
Georges St. Pierre also said he does not overlook Du Plessis' wrestling, pointing to his judo background and solid base, and he likewise respects Chimaev's striking. He noted that both are versatile fighters who can win in unpredictable ways, with Chimaev's strength lying in wrestling and submissions, though either man has power to knock the other out.
But I don't underestimate Dricus Du Plessis wrestling. I think he's very strong. Yeah, I think he did judo before. He's got a strong base. So, and Chimaev, I don't underestimate his striking either, because Chimaev have a very good striking. So they both can win in very unexpected ways. You know, people has a tendency to say, "Oh, this guy is a grappler, this guy is a striker." That's not what this fight is. This fight are two athletes, very well-rounded, that gonna fight each other. Of course, they have specialty, especially in Chimaev's case. He's very good in wrestling. and submission as well. But they both can knock each other out.
On the topic of physical power, St. Pierre said Chimaev might hold the advantage in wrestling-specific driving strength, while Du Plessis could be stronger in close contact pushing, pulling, and lifting. He decided to choose a winner, explaining that he knows both competitors personally and believes it will be an excellent fight.
Who's physically stronger, Chimaev or DDP?
I think strength is very it's very specialized. I think in terms of wrestling, takedown, driving, strength could be Chimaev. But I think if they lock body to body, I think could be the DDP. You know, pushing, pulling, like more lifting strength. I think it could be DDP. I think more applicable, like for wrestling strength, it could be Chimaev.
Okay, George, I went on the ledge and I said, I'm picking Chimaev. I'm giving one last attempt now to get you to say a name. What do you think? You have a pick or 50-50?
I know them both. I can't say that. They're going to be... So I have an opinion, but I can't really share it. It's going to be a good fight, though.
Trainer Tim Welch said he is conflicted about the result of Dricus Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. He pointed out that while Du Plessis has made progress, he was still taken down by opponents like Darren Till not too long ago, and Welch believes Chimaev will land an early takedown, potentially within seconds. He questioned whether Du Plessis could withstand Chimaev's control once he locked his grip, noting that Usman nearly shifted momentum against Chimaev but had the advantage of prior 5-round fight experience.
DDP vs.
Dude,
KC.
I keep going back and forth with this fight because it's like you go back. Yes, it was a while ago, but guys like Darren Till are taking down Dricus.
What year was that? 5 years ago?
Probably,
6 years ago?
Probably.
Like, dude, you know how good my grappling's got.
Yeah, Dricus was getting taken down by Darren Till, all those guys, but I guess the way he's been training is pretty crazy. I mean, he's got a big neck, he's got big traps. Khamzat is taking him down in that first round 110%.
Probably in the first 15 milliseconds.
Can he defend him off his neck? Can if Khamzat gets his hands attached underneath Dricus' nose, it's probably going to be over.
It was 2022. Wasn't that long ago, huh?
Yeah, it's like, dude, he's got to survive. He's got to survive. Remember, Usman was on his way to beating Khamzat if he had 2 more rounds.
Allegedly.
I mean, he was, dude.
Khamzat
was puckering.
Puckered too.
But Usman's used to those 5 rounds. Yeah.
Welch admitted he's rooting for Du Plessis, but for the sake of excitement, he would also like to see Chimaev come out on top. Still, he voiced concern that if Chimaev wins, there is a possibility he might not return to the cage soon, which could slow the division's progress.
He's been in 5-round wars before. If I had to put money on it, God, I want Dricus to win. For excitement-wise, I want Khamzat to win. But I'm worried if Khamzat wins, he ain't fighting again.
John Jones described the matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis as a high-stakes showdown between 2 of the most dangerous fighters in the game. He recalled Chimaev once calling him the scariest man in MMA, saying it was a compliment that reflected Chimaev's respect and sportsmanship despite his own intimidating image.
Khamzat Chimaev said that you are the scariest guy in MMA.
That's a huge compliment coming from Khamzat. I'm a big fan of Khamzat. I don't think he has any reason to toot my horn or to even be humble. He doesn't have to be. I mean, heavyweights fear him. And the fact that he has so much respect for me really means a lot. It shows me a lot about his character, his humility to be able to compliment someone in such a huge way. So I'm very grateful and honored.
Jones said he will be watching the fight but staying neutral, simply appreciating the skill on display. He shared his hope that both fighters keep succeeding in their careers and go on to achieve long-term success in the sport.
Will you watch his fight against DDP?
Absolutely. I absolutely watch this fight. I'm not rooting for anyone. I'm just a big fan of martial arts. I want to see them both go on and have long, prosperous MMA careers. I will watch the fight for sure.
But you cannot say who is the favorite, right?
No, I don't really have a favorite. You know, I just enjoy the sport. You know, may the best man win. I hope they both have great careers.
Alexander Volkanovski said he is siding with the underdog. Dricus Du Plessis in the main event, calling an exciting fight and basing his choice on what he has observed so far. He explained that he enjoys matchups that unfold in unpredictable ways. as they reveal a fighter's ability to adapt and surprise, which he sees as a core part of MMA's appeal.
In the co-main event, I went with the underdog, and and the main event here with Dricus Du Plessis, I'm going with the underdog. $2.60 fight here on Sportsbet. Incredible fight this one's going to be. I'm interested to see. Like, again, the thing is, just so you guys know, when I'm wrong, say if it goes completely different to what I say, I love that. Remember, I'm going from what I've seen. If they can completely change it and show me something I haven't seen, or be, you know, show me something that I wasn't expecting, oh, I love that. Let's see if it happens. That's what's exciting about it. It's exciting even me thinking how it's going to go. That's how I think it's going to be. That excites me. If they are able to change it up and do different things, yes, love it.
He added that he's interested to see if Khamzat Chimaev will change his approach, maybe relying more on striking to save energy or sticking to his trademark forward pressure. Volkanovski questioned whether Chimaev could fully commit to a new game plan if his instincts pull him back to his usual style, leaving fans guessing about which version of him will appear.
Let's see what they do. Let's see if Chimaev changes his game a little bit. Let's see if he goes a Khabib route, what he said. Focus more on the striking so he doesn't gas too early. Or does he go powerhouse and come in aggressive? Let me know what you guys think is going to be his strategy. Can he change it? Or if his game plan is to change it, can his instincts let him do that?
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their upcoming fight? Would love to hear your thoughts on their upcoming clash, so share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.